So the first quarter ended with Georgia and Ball State. It was 0-0. By halftime, Georgia's offense had really turned that around, helped some Mekhi Muse scoring a special teams touchdown as well. We talked about that in our play of the game of the week. We're focusing on the good things that Georgia did on offense in the second quarter to score a lot of points, Brent. We're presented by Breda Pest Management and ASW Distilleries. Breda Pest Management, they protect Sanford Stadium, Stegman Coliseum, Foley Field. They are the pest management of UGA Athletics, the official pest management of Georgia Athletics. So good enough for being on campus. Check them out. They can come to your home, BredaPest.com. And I'll tell you about ASW Distilleries later in the show. Brent, I always wonder what it takes for an offense to go from not seeming to have much rhythm, and then all of a sudden it seems like everything's working, and that's exactly what happened in a very short amount of time against Ball State. I'm going to pull up the video here, but just in general, what did you see a difference in Georgia from quarter one to quarter two?
I mean, I think you actually just said it. It's the rhythm. It's the confidence. It's the sort of flow of an offense. And I think the play action game, you got some deeper throws. I think that prior to this, you got Arian Smith on the sort of deep crossing route. It just consecutive weeks now, it seems like the deeper play action shots have really gotten Carson Beck into a rhythm. And it's one of those things where you think about what's happened the first quarter of each of the first two games. All right, maybe flip the script and let's take a deeper play action shot earlier in the game just to see if you can get him in rhythm. But this play here, 3rd and goal, free rusher, might be, to me, like it's his best play through two games thus far.
So we have Brock Bowers. He's going to run off this way. And I think the most impressive, multiple things, but the thing to me, the patience of Rosemary Jackson here to hold up and then let this develop through. I'll let it play out so everyone can remember.
They bring zero blitz, free rusher. They bring more than you have to block, and you as a QB have to account for that. Now, what's interesting about this is instead of it being the guy on the edge, it's the guy. It comes between Dylan Fairchild, I think is who it was, and Ernest Green. One goes in, the other turns out, so it's between them. But Beck just did a phenomenal job, and they showed a great replay on the telecast of him sort of dropping down a little 3/4, not quite fully sidearm, but at least 3/4, and putting the ball where Rosemary Jackson was going, anticipating that throw. Just a great play. Takes the hit. Touchdown. Just good stuff from him all around.
Lot to process here in a short amount of time, and it really kind of revolves around what number 9 is going to do here, which it's pretty obvious what 9's going to do because look where the eyes are here. Right there.
Yeah.
Going to follow Kendall Milton wherever he goes. But you'll see for where Kendall comes to here, 9 technically could notice that Rosemary's here, but he goes out this way. That's his assignment. That's what he's going to do. And that's why Rosemary has the entire center of the field available, and Beck sees that and delivers a perfect ball.
Not quite exact, but much like what Kentucky did to Georgia last year to get a touchdown, where you get that initial vertical clear out and then the next guy coming under. Great play, especially against this type of coverage, against the 0-man coverage out of that set. Good stuff. But especially, by the way, now granted, Muse has already had his touchdown to kind of really light the spark. You get a turnover, all that, but you had just gone and not done stuff in the red zone, not scored in the first quarter. Like, you needed this as an offense, I think. And once they got it, then you really got rolling.
You were telling me that you think that this is Beck's best play, maybe from a processing standpoint of the season thus far?
Yeah, and just because of the degree of difficulty, in a way. Like, when it's, hey, play action, set up, in rhythm, guys wide open, I expect you to hit those. For the most part, I expect sort of certain things to happen. This was adversity. This was you have to get a little creative as the QB. You have to lean back a little bit, turn a little bit this way, do things, make plays, basically. And he did it.
Show some comfort. Yeah. I'm going to get out of the way on this next play because I know how excited you got. And I'm just going to circle whatever you tell me to circle, and you can describe this as you'd like.
I mean, you could circle the dude's ankles that we're going to see on the grass. And in a moment, Mr. Mims is caving in the line. Ooh, there it is. Oh, they're poor things. They're broken so bad. That might be compound fractures. And just, it's one of those where you think about really the last 2 years of Georgia running back play. And Kenny McIntosh had some runs like that, but for the most part, Stetson was really the only one that would do that, have that kind of move, and the explosiveness of it. Like the break that ankle and then go explode and go score. Like to me, I got to think back to DeAndre Swift to have seen that type of run from a back where it's just out of nowhere, boom, make plays and do that, be explosive. Just gorgeous. And then another little dip and go and just run by people. Sorry, but I said this on the post-game show, but dude's a running back. Like I think it helps you get your best athletes on the field if he's at running back. Like his level of explosiveness, I think, is better than what it is there, at least until the other two get healthy, at least until Edwards and Milton get healthy. 3
quick things that I wanted to point out that weren't Dillon Bill related. 1, Amarius Mims. This is fun.
Yeah, just almost one-handed in a way. Big sucker.
2, Mr. Lovett. Be very careful because you kind of lose your balance and you almost could be accused of blocking in the back.
Yes.
So you didn't try to. It wasn't intentional. Just be careful with that kind of thing. And then 3, Carson Beck running to celebrate. I always like seeing this. I like seeing the team leaders celebrate their teammates on these kinds of things. And he does. Runs down, gives it a touchdown. A little okey doke. And plus, I know I think Roddy noticed this too. You, sir, congratulations on protecting Sanford Stadium and celebrating with Dillon Bill.
Awesome. That gate right there took a helmet last week from the touchdown for UT Martin. So it's the place to be.
So you want to see Dillon Bill almost exclusively at this running back and then all the variations of running backs that can catch mode?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially, by the way, you think about it. If you're in a known 3rd and long passing situation and you want to get your best 5 pass catchers on the field, he's one of them. Like if you got to put someone in the running back position and you're going to put that person in the pattern, i.e. not empty, they're in the backfield. Like he's better than Cash Jones. Like Cash is really good as a receiver, but he's not this guy. And I'm always an advocate of whatever you do, get your best players on the field. Find a way. Like on defense, get your best 11 on the field. And I think he does that.
This play is, I think, one of the smarter plays that we've seen from Carson Beck this season. And I say this because at this point, I would think he's going to try to squeeze this ball into Brock Bowers right here, who's cutting at the first down marker. It's Brock Bowers. He's probably going to catch it. It's going to be fine, but it still can be a little bit of a tight window. You have a lot of things to read here. But Carson Beck, no, he's not the most mobile quarterback on the team, but he's still an athlete. And this is a lot of green space that he recognizes. I have to use a very big circle to show all of that space. And he gets the first down in a much easier, more efficient, less dangerous way.
Yep, and this is first down. Do this all day, every day on first down. If it's not there, and you break contain like this, take a quick look deep, tuck it, go, get what you can get all day, every day on first down. Good decision-making, way to take care of the football, just overall positive. And by the way, what's going to be interesting is now he had one really bad, like not really bad, but bad and decision to run and then fumble the ball. That's going to hurt him from a grading perspective. His passing grade, I think, is going to be in the upper 80s. Like his overall, he might be the highest graded overall player offensively for Georgia. Very solid game for him in game 2.
I'd like to point out the carousel that happens on this block from Ernest Green. Wee.
Good job of caving it in once the guy takes that inside move. Like once that guy commits there, go. Push him in.
Your other favorite playmaker, not named Dylan Bell, and not named Brock Bowers, who didn't get many touches. We talk about that in another video. Mackay Muse, our player of the game, author of the play of the game 2 straight weeks.
There you go. 2 weeks in a row. 13 touches, over 310 yards in 2 weeks. And I think, and this is something else we talked about on the postgame show, you see more and more of this, the ball out really quick screens, because these guys are playmakers. And when you're not running the ball efficiently and getting, 7, 8, 9 yards, bigger chunks with your running game, how do you stay efficient? How do you stay ahead of the chains? You do things like this. And good job of at least fighting a little bit. I guess, is that Thomas, Rah Thomas? It's obviously not his strength. Just get in the way. We always talk about blocking is not, especially on the perimeter, is not about being physical. Just get in the way and make people take passes that they don't want to, and you get extra yards because of it.
Oscar Delp has a good block downfield at the 30 on this play too.
Yep.
Oscar had an up and down game, I think, but
was better. I would say overall better from a blocking perspective for him, and he made the one big play. So solid overall. Keep improving. But yes, Muse is a playmaker.
And then, if I'm going to give you all the credit for liking Dylan Bell to the extent that you do, I have to own my Cass Jones love. And this is probably the best throw of the season so far from Carson Beck.
I would agree. And the key for me with this is, one, he instantly saw it. I don't know if it was, hey, this is your primary read coming out of this play no matter what. I would almost guess it is based upon the way they did the coverage, because Lovett, I think, went from one side of the formation to the other pre-snap. But he was patient in the pocket here. Top of the drop, stared down the middle, knowing you're going there, and then let it rip and put it in a spot. Like, that's because there's a couple other spots, and we're going to look in the other video where we talk about sort of some of the struggles where he was too quick to make decisions, and just that extra little bit of patience. He gets, gets a little hit here, but that extra little bit of patience, and it's a big play and it's a touchdown versus a much more difficult play maybe for his receiver or a not so great play.
Fun celebration on the end of this, because I believe this is Dylan Bell that ends up on the ground here. So I want you to watch him throw his arms in the air. Yeah. But then also Arian Smith is like, I want to come celebrate. I'm going to jump right over you. Whee!
There we go.
One criticism, and this is very minor. This little hop step thing from Oscar Delp here, I don't love this. It doesn't look smooth to me. Doesn't matter. It's inconsequential for the play. I just don't want to see, I think that's bad habit. Chief coach, tell me if I'm wrong.
You're trying to get him lean. You're trying to get him to make a false step a little bit. You're that big. Just go get somewhere. Just go get somewhere you can be as quick as you possibly can. That would be my suggestion.
Overall, some of the better plays of Georgia's second quarter, that was just really star-studded. I thought best quarter by far offensively so far this season. We'll see if they can replicate that going forward.
And that's what you wanted to see, right? That's what you, much like a little bit of the third quarter against UT Martin, but it was just a little bit of the third quarter. It wasn't like the entirety of the second quarter when they had the ball. It was doing something with it. Points. Now, also it helped that the defense was turning the ball over, getting turnovers as well. But still, and starting field position was amazing. But still, you did it and you were efficient and you scored. No hiccups, red zones, that kind of stuff. Missed field goals like the first drive.
Accurate downfield passing. I think all championship teams have to have that. Georgia displayed it for the first time on a consistent basis for a quarter against Ball State. So we just need to see if it can be replicated as the stakes get a little higher and the opponents get a little more difficult This has been filmed live from UGAsports.com, presented by Breda Pest Management and ASW Distilleries. ASW is distilled by dogs. 5 of the 6 founders, UGA graduates. So make sure that when you are prepping your tailgate, whether it's your home tailgate as you're prepping to watch Georgia, or maybe you're already at Sanford Stadium setting up for South Carolina, you need to have ASW as a part of your game day experience. It's really good. The Fiddler bourbon is great. And in fact, Brent, I tried a different bourbon, not ASW, just because I saw it on sale and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'll give it a shot. I do that sometimes. And it was horrendously awful. Like, I can't even drink it. It tastes like just a pecan or something. And that's
now, you know, and you don't have to you stick with what you know.
Right. It made me want to be a creature of habit and just like stick with my Fiddler, because as we know from the post-game overreaction show, it is potent. It works. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next week for Georgia, South Carolina. Brent, thanks for